Well, thank you very much for inviting me to your playground, Melek. I'm privileged to be addressing you, a generous, curious, transparent, and courageous woman and men, I understand. We have some around. I would like to start with the question, do any of you use money? Right. Let's talk about money, right? So do 75 million Turkish people. But I think we are lucky that many of us in this room have the financial education and included in the financial system, and most of us have financial freedom, and not the 75 million people in Turkey do. And it is my dream to make a change in that. And I believe that all of us, in us, have an unleashed, or leashed, some of us, lion waiting to make a difference in the world and make a change. And so it is my dream at this point to make that difference. So I will talk about that, but Melek asked me to talk about myself first. I'm not so great at that, but I'll sort of talk about how I got to where I am and what I've been doing with goals and dreams. By the age I was 17, I had my first goal, which was to learn 3 languages by the age I'm 30. My father was my role model, and so this was my first goal in life. The second one was that I don't like so much doing housework, so I had to make enough money or have a profession, so if I choose to do the housework, I do it. So that was my other goal. So having that, I went to Belgium and lived there. I went for a week, working in it was a big castle, and I went to a regular government school in Turkey and knew French, or I thought I knew French until I went to Belgium. Then lived there for a year, worked in the castle and taking care of kids, and also working in the kitchen. This was a school, private school. Then after that I came back to Turkey, and again my 3 goals of learning also English. My father ran into a family friend on the street in Bebek, and they said they were looking for an au pair for the summer for 2 months. And that was it, that was me, that was, again in line with my goal. So we went to the US for 2 months and then stayed on for 11 years. And then the mother of the house was my second role model, in that it was very, important for her and for the daughter that I was taking care of, who was at the time 7, to go to one of the best universities in the world. And then that became my dream. After that, then I went and moved on and worked with them. I was au pairing, and then at nights I was going to a community college. Then from there I transferred to a 4-year college, and then I moved on with my studies in the US, and was privileged to go to attend Ivy League schools in the US. Then there was my American family whom I met at the time, because my role as a au pair had ended, and moved into I was very lucky to have met them, and they became sort of my role model. The father was a banker. I said, I want to be a banker and go and work on Wall Street. So boom, this became my goal then, and so then I was again privileged, having worked hard at schools and went to do work at the bank. Then said I want to go back to Turkey, because I didn't want to become 50 and then decide, do I go back or not go back? I had people around me who were asking the same questions. Then I sent around some faxes and reached out to Ferit Şahenk, who at the time had just established Garanti Investment, Garanti Yatırım, and I was coming from Wall Street, and boom, he hired me on the spot, and I came to Turkey. And I've been working in the company at Doğuş for the last 15 years. And then my goal was to rise, to the top and to bring value to the company, change things. And I'm the only woman board of directors in the company. I'm board of directors at Doğuş Automotive and head of strategy. So then, and then my goal was to start a family, and I'm very lucky to have a family and 2 children. It's balanced life was always my dream, and to have the support of the family. And then I said, okay, it's time to give back to the community. What do I want to do? So that sort of a thing I started asking, but it didn't come to me. And I said, I'll wait for the time it comes to me. And one day I remember I was in a plane coming back from Didim. My company that I work, we have a marina in Didim. That was the opening of it, I never forget. In my bag, I always carry Economist every week. You know, I don't go around with it. So I flipped it out. I said, you know, I'll look around. There was a picture of a man, an Afghan man who was around 60s, who was, you know, married by force to a 13-year-old girl. That picture struck me. I kept looking at it. I kept looking at it maybe for 5 minutes, you know, in silence. I said, I want to make a difference. This has to change, these kind of things. I can't go to Afghanistan. What do I know best, and what is it that I can do most? Then I started, you know, that's sort of the seed I put in me, I would say. Then the whole financial literacy initiative is because I've been doing planning and budgeting and also managing a family budget all my life. Then, so this, and financial literacy is gaining importance in the world. So this sort of the lion unleashed in me, I would say, 2 years ago. Just very quickly about financial literacy. Financial literacy is a person's ability to use the skills and knowledge about financial matters, just, you know, personal finance. This is quite important and includes topics as, you know, budgeting, credit cards, buying a house, mortgage and investments, insurance, all financial products, and also the daily life. So in Turkey, where we are, if you look at it, financial products are quite new. For example, you know, mortgages is just 3, 4, 5 years, and pension funds are quite new, and the people, you know, do need education, and there's a very big blank page. As this was the thing I knew how to do best, and I saw the need. So this is sort of how I've started. Okay, just get a 5-minute call. And okay, so the goal, my goal going forward is to change the financial education and financial literacy in Turkey. In practice, I'm doing, I'll give a quick snapshot of what I'm trying to do in Turkey as a practice. But I am trying to change policy, research, education, and also start a national strategy on financial literacy. For that, I started with a blog, which was the cheapest way. And meanwhile, I have my full-time job that I do. This has become my night job, if you will. And start with a blog and taking questions from people. I answered over now 5,000 questions from people from all around across Turkey. Then moved into a television show. I do a show on CNBC weekly. Then started writing in a newspaper, Posta, which is the biggest reach in Turkey, once a week. Then radio shows. And then they said, okay, I have to look at people eye to eye. And started visiting a university once a month in different parts of Turkey. Also meeting with women entrepreneurs, and as well as meeting with regulatories. So just before coming here, I had a call from the head of Capital Markets Board, who are interested in doing further things in financial education. So visiting just, the stock exchange, the Capital Markets Board, the Credit Bureau, Central Bank, and all the presidents and the people who work here. This is what I'm trying to do within my capacity on financial literacy in Turkey. So what are you doing, and what is that can be done more in Turkey? And also visiting the ministries as I can. So what I'm trying to do, with having these two different angles, is that on one level I'm a social entrepreneur, and another one I'm a full-time working person. So the thing is that having both works in a way that I can use the platform in the corporate world that I have to open doors, with the regulatories, with the ministries, and where are the opinion leaders and also people who can make a difference. And as Jalaluddin Rumi Mevlana said, that one candle does not lose anything from its light, trying to light other candles. So that's what I have been trying to do, and I'm at the beginning, and with the support of courageous and sharing people like yourselves, I would like to take it further. And just I have a quick video. I would like to end here. I have a quick video who is going to explain maybe a bit more in detail. It's a couple of minutes what I'm trying to do. Para Durumu'na hoş geldiniz. Ben Özlem Denizmen. Evet, bugünkü konumuz ödeyemediğimiz banka borçları. Çift çekim olmuş. Evet, gözlemledim çift çekimi. Buradan bir 20 lira alışverişte 2 kere çekmişler. Oluyor tabii böyle şeyler yanlışlıkla. Hemen bunu alıyorum ve kutumuza koyuyorum. Biz İMKB 30 hisselerini endeksine bağlamak istiyoruz. Birden tenceremiz yavruluyor. Gördüğünüz gibi böyle. Evet, onu kenara koyuyoruz. Şöyle bir getirileri de yavrulamış oluyor. Evet, bugün gördüğünüz gibi bayağı zenginim. Yanımda koskoca bir hazine var. Şaka bir yana bu hazine aslında devletin hazinesini temsilen burada. İki de dostumuz var bugün. Azmi kaplumbağayla zıp zıp tavşan yarış yapıyorlar. Tavşan diyor ki ben yarışı zaten kazanırım diyor. Atlıyor, zıplıyor, her şeyi yapıyor, uyuyakalıyor yarış boyunca. Azmi kaplumbağa ise disiplinle, düzenle, azimle her gün küçük adımlarla yarışa devam ediyor ve sonuçta ne oluyor? Azmi kazanıyor yarışı. Biz borsa ile tanışmak istiyoruz. Türkiye büyüyor, şirketleri büyüyor. Biz de bundan pay almak istiyoruz. Bizim için hazırlanmış böyle çeşitli paketler var. Bu paketler ne oluyor? Belirli hisselerden almışlar diyelim. Bir tane cevizden, 2 tane kajudan, buradan, işte 3 tane fındıktan diye belli hisseleri böyle bir araya topluyorlar. Avaral var. Avaral kredili mevduat hesabını seviyor. Ortadaki kardeşler diyorlar ki biz kredi kartı kullanacağız. Müşteriyle olan ilişki çok önemli. Müşteriyle olan ilişkide burada sizin ona sadece güler yüz göstermeniz değil, her geldiği zaman böyle sevgi dolu enerji içinde oluyor olmanız. Çünkü sonuçta hepimiz insanız değil mi? Para Durumu'na hoş geldiniz. Ben Özlem Denizmen. Evet, düğün mevsimi yaklaşıyor. Bana gelen sorular da bayağı bir düğün finansman soruları almaya başladık. Bugün konumuz düğün finansmanı. Gördüğünüz gibi 3 ayrı gruba mesajlarım var. Potansiyel gelinler, müstakbel damatlar ve aileler. Her birinizle ilgili vereceğim tüyolarım var. Aman ekranlarınızın başından ayrılmayın. Bir arkadaşımız var bugün bizimle beraber stüdyoda. İsmi Mualla. Mualla ile beraber böyle size anlatmaya, açıklamaya çalışacağım. Evet, gel bakalım yanıma Mualla. Merhaba de herkese, böyle izleyicilerimize. Evet, Mualla ile beraber size açıklamaya çalışacağız temettüyü. Burada bir şirket diyelim. Şirket sene içerisinde çalışıyor, kazanıyor ve ne oluyor? Sene sonunda kar yumurtlamış oluyor değil mi? Böyle yavrulamış oluyor, böyle birçok kar var. Şimdi bu karın bir kısmını kendisi için saklıyor. Bir kısmını da diyor ki yani bu gördüğümüz kırmızı yumurtayı benim buna bu sene ihtiyacım yok. O yüzden ben bunu size, ortaklarıma vermek istiyorum, dağıtmak istiyorum diyor.
Şimdiden yatırımı yapmaya başlarken nasıl başlayabiliriz yatırım yapmaya? Yani nasıl biriktirebiliriz paramızı ileriye geleceğe dönük?
En güzel harcarken zaten birikir. O disiplini harcarken oturtmak lazım. Bizim özgürlüğümüz için, finansal özgürlüğümüz için biriktireceğiz. Merhaba arkadaşlar. Ne olmak istiyorum hani deriz ya. Biz de ilk önce hedeflerle başlayacağız.
Anne babanın kredi kartını ne amaçla kullandığını biliyor musun? Biliyorum.
Biliyor musun? As you see, I totally love this. And thank you very much for listening to me.